So in major news today in Las Vegas, the first ever non-smoking property, 100% of it, is about to go live. And it's not the one we initially thought it would be from one company, it's one from another company. And why does that matter? Well, it matters a whole lot. We're going to talk about that, the future of Las Vegas, if other properties are going to go non-smoking in this town, and what does it mean going forward from a business perspective for how the resort companies right now must feel about the future prospects on the city having a very good, V-shaped comeback, not some big struggling kind of chart like that. My name is Steven and I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications, like, share, subscribe, do the notification bell. You'll know when I do new news videos. You guys will know when I am live, when I'm doing premieres of videos. We do live streams almost every day on the channel. We do several of them a week from out and about Las Vegas, so you guys can see what the city looks like during our recovery. I want to show you the recovery and the renaissance of Las Vegas. This is the Vegas Renaissance. It's coming back. It's going to be a slow going, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be rough sometimes, but hey, we all got to start somewhere. And if you guys want to comment below, do you think it's a good idea to have a non-smoking property in Vegas, or are you of the sect of, hey man, I come to Vegas to smoke, drink, and gamble, and you took away my ability to drink at a bar, so I'm going to smoke them if I got them. If that's you, that's okay too. But societal changes and shifts have probably led us to this point, plus a radical new way of doing business in Las Vegas. So that's the topic of the video today. If you want to further support, there's channel memberships on YouTube. There is Patreon. You guys get early access to some videos, content that I put up exclusively for you. And we also have the Facebook group, Not Leaving Las Vegas. That's free, costs you $0. All you got to do is give your privacy info over to Facebook. Hey, look, I suggest if you don't like Facebook very much, you create an account, you put up a fake avatar, and when you're going to do that, you got to contact me on some other platform to let me know you're opting in, or else we're not going to approve a brand new account created just for that purpose. So let me know, and you can join up, and you don't have to give your personal information away. VegasFaceMask.com. The only 2 masks you'll ever need. So, hey, look, you're in a casino in Las Vegas. Where's your mask? Oh, no, the wind blew it away because it was wrapped around my ear. Well, these ones here wrap around the back of your head. They're made by my wife. They're 2 for $25. They're never going to go away on you. We'll have face masks out here for probably the next year to 2 years, I suspect. But, hey, okay, commercials aside, I've talked for way too long this time. Sometimes they go long, and I apologize to you guys. Let's talk about the first ever non-smoking property in Las Vegas. And it is, of course, the Planet Hollywood. No, it's actually the Park MGM, but the rumor was it would be the Planet Hollywood for the longest time. And I actually said that makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't it be the Planet Hollywood? I worked in that property for years. I worked in there with a timeshare company, and then I worked outside that property doing timeshare marketing and promotions. And one thing I learned by watching the demographics of the different casinos and resorts, and one thing I knew for sure was when the Planet Hollywood first opened, when it was opened by Robert Earl, he was specifically competing right against the Palms, the Maloof brothers. He was trying to bring in younger demographics and celebrities. And that's kind of the way it's stuck. And yeah, in recent years, you had them promoting younger musical acts like Britney Spears. And well, I mean, in their 30s, right? If you're a kid of the 90s and you watch Britney Spears, you're going to stay at the property. It wasn't a place for 40s, 50s, and 60-year-olds. It was a place that skewed younger. Makes sense? Hey, look, every time a new generation comes in, if you want to change the way the generations think and act, just change the kids. Okay, so kids were taught to not smoke starting way back in the 80s and the 90s with all the public service announcements all over the world. Heck, when I was a kid, speaking of indoctrinating, can't say the word. Speaking of teaching the youth, I remember going to an assembly at my elementary school back in Niagara Falls, Canada, and they said, hey, teach your parents, kids, how to recycle, the 3 R's, and now we all recycle. So that's what happened here. So I figured a younger demographic, Planet Hollywood, makes total sense. Well, of course, the Planet Hollywood's not open, just to this date still. I have heard nothing more of that rumor, and I think Vital Vegas confirmed it, quasi-confirmed it months ago, but they're still not open. So now the first one ever is the Park MGM, of course, formerly the Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo probably never would have pulled any kind of shenanigans like this because from what I understand it, from some people that I talked to and an uncle who I had that came in and just basically gamed all the time, it was really a gambler's casino. But now the park is an entertainment destination, is anchor point for the park that goes down to the T-Mobile Arena. It has Eataly in some places that are definitely more skewed towards a younger demographic. The Crack Shack, Still can't say that without wanting to giggle a little bit. Such an unfortunate name. And the Park is the first one. Now, a lot of people thought that the Park was also going to be the anchor point for if the NHL were to play their games here. The idea was simple. They would have a bubble. All the teams in the West would come out and play in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, and that never came to pass. But if that was going to come to pass, the Park would have actually tied into that. So if they were in progress way back in, that would have been like June, July, when they were thinking of having the NHL here, it would have made sense to have a non-smoking hotel. NHL hockey players are high-level athletes. They wouldn't have wanted to have all of the different smoke and all the different scents and everything like that. So you have your hotel, you keep it closed. There's no reason to open the Park at the time because there was so much around it that was already open. You make it non-smoking and then you move on forward. You beta test it like this. Now, does this mean that other properties will actually go to non-smoking? I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. We're going to have to see what the demographics are like and how this all works out. And until we have about a year behind us with everything, I think until we're probably a year away from the reopening in June, we're not going to really know much in terms of numbers. It's hard to gauge when you have 100% occupancy, if you do, of 50% of your property being open. Because remember right now, we're at 50% at most of properties being open. And even in this case, we don't have the full amenities open at the Park MGM. They say Italy will be open, a couple of other restaurants there will be open, the hotel room will be open, the casino floor will be open, but they need you to consult the website to see as new things come online. So until we're past June of 2021, we're not going to really know if this is a positive or a negative for the property being non-smoking, and we won't know until then if any other properties might go this way. Of course, Caesars Entertainment out here, they like to, everybody likes to follow the leader. Maybe they will go with the property to be non-smoking right now. Caesars is already kind of beta testing this by putting one of their old poker rooms in the Harris, turning it into a slot area that's a non-smoking slots area. But still then, it's not completely non-smoking. It's not walled off. Smoke goes up and billows over the top of the glass that they built. So this is really the first in the entire city. Now, getting back to what this actually means to the city as a whole. Okay, I'm not here to sugarcoat everything and tell you everything is awesome like the Lego Movie song does, but I am here to tell you that this is a good thing. When MGM Resorts International now has every single one of their properties that they manage completely open right now. So they have all of their properties open right now in some way, shape, form, or capacity, okay? That's positive. That means that they have the confidence right now in the numbers that they see that going forward, things are going to be getting better. They, of course, have up-to-the-date numbers. I was watching a video by another YouTuber who kept referring back to how July was better than June, and I'm like, of course it was. We had the July 4th long weekend. Of course it was better. But until we get the August and September numbers, which they already have live, real time, we won't know from our perspective. So let's assume that they think it's going to be okay going forward. Let's assume that they're seeing an incremental tick up in these rooms, because it didn't make sense, as I mentioned in the video last week, to open the park if there was going to be nobody to actually stay there. They must think that there will be enough people coming in that it will be a place where people will want to stay. So it's a big gamble from MGM Resorts' perspective to make this a non-smoking property. They must have put a lot of money into it. They must have spent a lot of time disinfecting and anti-smoking things, because you better have a fully non-smoking hotel if you can have non-smokers in there. I know, for example, my wife can smell it from a mile away. And it is something that they're putting out into the feelers of the marketplace in Las Vegas. As I say, maybe other properties will follow suit. Maybe whenever the Planet Hollywood decides to reopen back up under whatever brand it might possibly open, maybe it's not the Planet Hollywood from what I hear. That's another video for another day. Make sure you subscribe. Maybe that'll be the second, and who knows, maybe in 10 years time, smoking in Las Vegas will be relegated to, you know, a small little part of the property or small little niche properties, but it's too early to tell. But good news in Las Vegas as the park comes back to open up September 30th. Good news if you're a non-smoker with the property being non-smoking. But I'm curious to hear your perspective in the comments below. So as always, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Leave us that comment about whether you think it's awesome or whether it's just not for you and you're going to go somewhere where you can smoke them if you got them. And I would love to hear your feedback. And once again, my name's Steven, and I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. If you guys want to support the channel, head on over to the Patreon or the Facebook membership, YouTube memberships, or the Facebook group, or vegasfacemask.com. That's your breaking news for today. Now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. And if you're ready, we go 3, 2, 1, click. 3, 2, 1, and click.